Dude, that is wild. I'm about to get about to get soaked just standing here. Tree down, dude. Tree's doing a pretty good job of telling people they shouldn't be driving around over here. Like I said, these guys over here probably live on those boats. I'm not trying to be out here like documenting everybody's like worst day of their lives right now. So, dude, the tree house and the pub. Damn. What's up, Radio Shade Tree Surgeon here, and we've just gotten done preparing for Hurricane Helene. Is it Helena? Helene? I'm not really sure. Now, it's not really supposed to hit us that bad here in Tampa, but I'll believe it when I see it. The thing with hurricanes is you got to prep for them whether they're supposed to hit you or not, because you really never know. They can change course in a heartbeat. When Katrina devastated New Orleans, it originally was supposed to hit pretty much exactly where I was living at the time. Well, the wind just really died down. Anyway, we got bands coming through now, but I want to go out there and get the lay of the land. I haven't been in Tampa for 2 weeks. We've been out in Portland doing session stuff with Sugar Tree Farm, getting the new pens out. The new strain ice cream paint job is hitting the shelves soon, so we will actually be back out in Portland, but we can't just abandon our house in a hurricane. We got to come back here and get ready for it. It seems kind of counterintuitive. You should leave when there's a hurricane coming, not come back. Nobody has ever accused me of being a genius. And speaking of genius level moves, let's go ride motorcycles in a hurricane. Busting out the OG. These things have seen multiple cross-country trips and definitely got my money's worth out of this set, but I left my Baja heavy hitters in port. Oh yeah, we already got trees coming down in the neighborhood, man. They're expecting we'll get gusts up to 80 miles an hour, which all these old oak trees, a lot of these guys are going to be on the ground and unfortunately over the power lines. Apparently, Helen, this is supposed to be a bad one, man. The previous hurricanes that I've gone out and covered have not been that bad. Obviously, there's bad as relative. They've still been pretty tough, but I've never really gone out and filmed a hurricane where they're using words like catastrophic. Get a little go juice here while they still got it. And that's one of the first things that happens is all the gas stations end up running out of gasoline because the things that run out first are the things that are easiest to do when it comes to preparation. Just kind of those things that everybody knows you're supposed to do to prep for a hurricane. You're supposed to fill up all your vehicles with gas because you don't know when gas is going to be available, and if you need to escape, you want a full tank. I always keep like 15 to 20 gallons of fuel at the house anyways. I do fill up the vehicles, you know, I always do that. It's just something that's easy to do, so everybody does it. That, and everybody says to buy water, so you go to the grocery store and the water's all gone. And then the other stuff that's a little harder or a little more expensive, you don't see as much, like plywood to board up windows. Sometimes you'll see a big run on wood and nobody will have any available if they expect the storm to hit us. All the businesses boarding themselves up. Generators, things like that. Everyone will be sold out of generators. Just not as many because, you know, you go out and buy a $500 generator. Not everybody's got the cash for something like that, man. Hey, there's some people out there that don't have the cash to fill up their vehicles with gas. I'm very thankful that I do. When it comes to a generator, and I realize that not everybody has the money to afford one anyway, but if you live in Florida, a generator, if you have room for it and you can afford to have one, is something you should have anyway. Generator isn't something you should be buying last minute right when a hurricane's gonna hit us. A nice working generator is just something that should be in your garage if you are a Floridian that lives in a house, not an apartment complex. Again, I realize that not everybody can afford to buy a generator. Not everybody has a place to store a generator. I'm just saying, if you have the ability to have one and a place to store it, there's no reason to not own a generator. I will say this about hurricanes: every time I get on a motorcycle and I ride one, it gives me flashbacks to riding my motorcycles during COVID. There is just nobody on the roads. Now, there's cops on the road, so you kind of watch out for the buzz, but after that, baby, it's like a playground. Right before a hurricane, that's one of the best times to get out and ride your bike. Ooh. Oh, I always check on the rivers. Dude, that river is already real high. The wind and the rain, they do a lot of damage, but the real damage comes from the storm surge. I'll hop off here, see how Ybor City's doing. Knowing them, I doubt anybody's started boarding up yet, and more likely, there's a bunch of people down there partying for the hurricane. I'm not saying it's the best move, but I love a good dose of reckless optimism. Won't somebody think of the chickens? They'll be fine. Oh man, old 7th and Grove hasn't even taken their hanging plants down, although the hurricane's taken a few of them down for them. It doesn't look like anybody's boarding up. Hurricane's supposed to hit in about 4 or 5 hours, so if you're gonna board up, you would have done it already. Such a shame that Zydeco closed down. That brewery was freaking awesome. Not everybody's open. In fact, I see a lot of places closed down. I will tell you this though. Yeah, I was about to say, I'll freaking eat my shoe if Gaspar's ain't open and has people drinking in it. Gaspar's Grotto, they don't close for nothing. There you go. Just as sure as there'll be runners on Bayshore right up to the hurricane, there's going to be dudes smoking cigars out in front of the cigar shops, and Gaspar's Grotto is going to be serving beers. Not a lot of other places open, but it is only like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's not that weird. Ybor really doesn't come alive till night. I'm kind of surprised that nobody boarded up. Not a single person. Reservoir, that's the other one that, again, if they ain't open tonight during the hurricane, I'll be very surprised. Let's go down by the shipyard, see what's going on there. Now, this is going to be the real danger for downtown in Ybor City. This and Tampa Bay. The water already looks high over there, but we can go over to Cockroach Bay and get a way better view of it. As always, long-term viewers of the channel will be very familiar with Cockroach Bay because that's where I used to live and where I filmed my very first YouTube video at. Since it's already been raining, part of me wouldn't be surprised if parts of this are already underwater. Whew. Not yet, but baby, they gon' be. That is whipping up bad. It's already starting to spill over the seawall. This is getting flooded for sure. Damn. Go film another Sunshine Lollipops video with the way it's looking right now. Holy mackerel. Yeah, it's already flooding here. That's wild. Oh, dude, look at that. It's freaking just eating away behind the seawall. Whew. Boy, is this freaking coming up, dude. Dude, that is wild. I'm about to get soaked just standing here. Let's get the hell out of here. It is, it's gonna be flooding here pretty soon. That's for sure. Yeah, this neighborhood is gonna be freaking underwater if we get hit by any part of the storm surge. Let's take a little ride down Bayshore and see how bad that is right now. Guaranteed people are still out there jogging. It's just crazy to go downtown and see absolutely no one out here. Insane. Especially on a Thursday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Hell yeah. Well, all right, let's see what's going on Bayshore, the buxom, blonde, bouncing, and beautiful. What's going on Bayshore? They already got to close down. That's what's going on Bayshore. Like, honestly, not very surprising. Which is weird, because I'm just like, it's not flooded yet. It seems weird that they'd close it down. Maybe it's just to prevent people like me going out there and just trying to see what's going on. We got plenty of other places to check. Besides, Bayshore didn't look like it was that bad yet. Of course, the bay flooding is the issue, but it's the rivers that lead into the bay that are really, really the problem. If you guys remember the video I did on the last hurricane, we actually had a reverse storm surge that pulled all the water out of the rivers. We are not getting that lucky this time. It's not going to be a reverse storm surge. It's not just all these houses on the bay, though downtown's pretty built up. It's not like downtown is in too much danger. It's all these rivers that just snake all through the Tampa area. They all lead into Tampa Bay. I'll go over the bridge at Kennedy and see what's going on there. Dude, I love it. These dudes out here freaking ripping it up in the jet skis, baby. Look at them go. Oh, that's freaking awesome. We got to get some video of that. That is freaking cool. Oh, man. I thought maybe they were messing around here. That pack of jet skis is already gone, baby. My man's out here on the motorcycles, freaking going wild. Jet skis got outlaw clubs? Damn, I was hoping I could get some, you can see where they just were. I was hoping I could get some video of them. Good for them, dude. If you got all your stuff ready and you're prepared, there's no reason to not go out and have some fun, dude. Nobody else is out. The only people out are people like me and those dudes on the jet skis. Let's see how we're doing here on the river down by Riverwalk. That is freaking high, man. This is real high. That water's coming in. Just depends on how close this storm gets to us, or if it goes up into the mouth of Tampa Bay. That's when it'll get really, really bad. Hoping it doesn't, but unfortunately, it's like, hoping it doesn't is hoping that it happens to somebody else. I know you can't really think like that. Obviously, I don't want it to happen to anybody, but I want it to not happen to us the most. But the hurricane is hitting somewhere, and they're predicting now that it's going to be a Category 4 when it makes landfall. We'll see. And if the storm surge gets really bad, all these boats down here are going to be boats over here. Personally, I wouldn't want to leave my boat out in the water, but I'm sure a lot of these guys have permanent docking here or something like that. They might not have a place to put them that's not in the water. I don't think I've pushed my luck enough. I have my rain gear with me, but I would really prefer to not have to put it on. There's just something about choosing to put on rain gear as opposed to being forced to put on rain gear. That's, you know, I don't like to be forced to do anything. I always get a lot of people wondering, and I guess it's a fair question, you know, it's fair to ask. They wonder why I seem to not be worried about the hurricane. And rightly so, I guess. If you don't live here, if you're not from Florida, maybe it seems like, you know, we don't take it super seriously, and that I think that a lot of people don't take it seriously. They don't think about it, but for me, not worrying about it is less about not taking it seriously, because we prepare, we take it serious, but I'm not going to worry about what happens after that. We've prepared, I've done the right things to do, and I'm ready if it hits bad. And if it doesn't hit bad, hey, I'm not gonna feel bad about getting prepared for it. But worrying about it and fretting about it and freaking out before it ever even gets here, oh man, that just seems like you're worshiping the issue. You're worshiping the problem. And if Shade Tree Surgeon is gonna get down on his knees and worship anything, you listen here, baby. It's gonna be underneath a great set of tits and right above a long pair of legs. Whatever will happen, will happen. I feel bad for the people who aren't preparing, or for the people who, no matter how much they prepare, they're just in a spot that they're gonna get messed up anyway. I'm incredibly fortunate that I live in a spot that I'm not really in a whole lot of danger. Like, there could be flooding. I'll show you that when we get back to the fort. There could be flooding in some of the places around me, but where I'm at specifically, it shouldn't get too bad. But again, if the rivers get bad enough, it's gonna be bad. Well, we getting gusty up here. I might have to get off the crosstown and take surface roads. It is freaking kicking up, boys. In fact, I think I'm gonna go ahead and do just that. The wind is gusting just a little too hard to be on an elevated highway. At least on this motorcycle. Can't imagine being landlocked. I can't imagine not being near the water, but hey man, this is what comes with being near the water. This is all part of it. There you go. People running on Bayshore, and dudes fishing, guys smoking cigars, and people getting drunk at gas bars and Resident Evil. There are always some things you can count on. I don't care if it's the apocalypse or not. Hillsborough River is by far not the only river in the immediate area that could really do some damage. Since we're not taking the crosstown back, sticking to the surface roads, I'm gonna swing down by the Alafaya River too, which is over here in Gibsonton, where the mouth of it is, like Gibsonton Apollo Beach. That's the river that we always put in the boat at the Alafaya boat ramp. Of course, one of my favorite bars in the world is on the Alafaya River as well, River's Edge. In fact, let's go ahead and go check on River's Edge. I'd be real curious to see if they're open or not. Man, are we open? No, that's not surprising though. I mean, they are right on the river. Not surprising at all that they're not going to be open today. And they're not open, not because they're like worried about danger from the storm, at least not to this building. They're not open because all their employees live around here. So they got everybody on staff out here has got to go home and prepare for the hurricane, which is why most places are closed. They got to give their people time to prepare for a hurricane. While I do love that Gas Bars is open, you know, the places that stay open no matter what, instead of letting their employees go home and prepare for the hurricane, I don't know, you could probably say some bad things about that, but I'm not going to say anything about it. Dude, yeah, this water is freaking high, boys. Dude, all these guys who live out here on these houseboats, I'm like, dude, I always wonder what they're gonna do. I mean, they didn't even bother to move them. There's a lot more boats, not these boats. Some people might live on those boats over there, but most of the people are out in these boats right here, just kind of free moored around. Great way to pay no rent, but then when a hurricane comes, you're kind of out of luck. Oh, there's the jet ski boys, dude. There they go. It's the gang of jet skis, dude. They're back. I wonder if they're going to this boat ramp. Okay, I gotta pull in that boat ramp and see if they're coming in there. Dude, my boys on the jet skis. I was so bummed out I didn't get them on camera on the Kennedy Bridge. Dude, I bet they're going to this boat ramp. Dude, my boys on the motorcycles. I love it. Dude, hell yeah. Dude, I've been driving around checking shit out. I saw all you guys haul ass underneath the Flat Street Bridge. I think it was you guys. I was like, fuck yeah, dude, that's awesome. The whole freaking gang, dude. I love it. That's so freaking cool, man. Hurricane's coming no matter what you do. So if you're prepared, you might as well go out and have a little fun, baby. Why not? Well, it's bright and early the next day. The skies are mostly blue. Another great day for riding. Doesn't look like we got hit that bad here in Tampa. I'm gonna go out and check out some of the damage, see what happened. I know that there was some serious damage at Forgotten Angels. Sure, there's a lot of trees down. Don't know if there's gonna be no traffic on the roads because since we didn't get hit very hard, everyone might be like, back to work with you. I would be pretty bummed out if I didn't get a long weekend out of it. I know if you're getting forced to go back to work today, you're probably pretty bummed out you didn't get a long hurricane weekend, especially when nothing really happened here. But I'm sure, I haven't even looked at the news yet, I'm sure a lot happened up in the Panhandle, so we'll be thinking about those guys. But for right now, let's go check out Tampa and see how we fared. There's definitely some people that ain't getting no 3-day weekend. Anybody who had to travel to Florida because you're a lineman, including my good buddy Carlos, the Los Man, aka Obi-Wan Kenobi, he's probably in Florida right now, even though I haven't called him, because he's a lineman and travels all over the country, all over the world, in fact, making the world work. Because without linemen, life as we know it would be impossible. So to everyone out there risking their lives on power lines right now to get us back where we need to be, maybe not that much here in Tampa, but all over the state of Florida, you have my sincere thanks. Still no school. They got no one in the parking lot there. And this is our version of a snow day, okay? I know you guys get those up north where you get a long weekend because it got snowed in. Long hurricane weekends are pretty much the same thing for Florida kids. Definitely not the traffic you'd usually see at 9 a.m. out here, but way more than we saw yesterday at a similar high traffic time. Some people are definitely heading into work right now. That's not a good sign. Got the Ybor City exit closed. I wonder if it's that flooded down there. No, I would have known about it. I didn't check the news, so maybe I wouldn't have known about it. What do they got going on down there? What's going on? Looks like nothing. The road ain't flooded down there, is it? Are all the office buildings open? Do they make people come into work down here? Looks like they did not. Looks like downtown got Friday off, baby. Lucky bastards. They got a 4-day weekend. Oh, it's just crazy to roll down here and see it absolutely empty. 9 o'clock in the morning. There's barely any damage, man. I know that, again, there's damage some places. There are trees that went down and really messed stuff up, but down here, I mean, a couple of limbs down at most. See how high this river still is. Oh, it's not that bad. I know last night it was over the river walk. God, it looks totally fine, actually. All right, make a quick illegal U-turn here, and we'll go check on Bayshore Boulevard. Bayshore, the buxom, bouncing, blonde, and beautiful. They still have Bayshore closed down. Let's see if we can find another way out to Bayshore. It's just crazy to me that they still have it closed down. Now I'm just curious. I mean, is it still underwater? Why would they have it closed still? Well, apparently they do. And they got the Davis Island Bridge closed still. They got all the side streets closed too. They really do not want anybody on Bayshore right now. That's because it is actually still full of water. Dang. Who'd have thunk it? Well, we'll probably avoid the power lines here. That doesn't look like their best bet. Well, boys, it's looking like Bayshore Boulevard is a no-go. I guess for good reason. It is still freaking flooded, so. It looks like nothing even happened down there. I wonder if the water ever got over the wall. It doesn't look like it. Like, obviously you could tell it was way up in the street at Bayshore because of all the debris that was up there. It doesn't look like there's anything on the ground over there. The water did not come up high enough to go over the seawall here at all. Maybe it did over here. I should have come out last night, but I was getting drunk with you guys in a hurricane live stream. So I didn't come out in the middle of the night during the hurricane. Of course, it's like pitch black when you go out in the middle of the night when the hurricane's here, so I wouldn't have been able to see anything anyway. And even though it seems like I'm absolutely reckless most of the time, you know, the risks I take are calculated. I'm just bad at math. Now we got like none of the stoplights working out here. And Ybor City looks like no damage whatsoever. Once again, there's no repercussions for not boarding up the windows of your business. Just like I said earlier, I do believe in taking precautions, like even when the hurricane's coming even kind of close, but here in Tampa, it never hits us, man. I mean, the last one to actually come here and do any damage was 100 years ago, 100 plus years ago. So while I do personally take precautions, it's really hard for me to blame anybody else for being like, nah, I'm not gonna go through the trouble of boarding up my windows. And just time and time again, they say to take precautions, but then nothing happens. So there's really just this like kind of pervading mood in Tampa that the hurricane's never gonna hit here. And I mean, I feel it myself. Like I'm not saying I'm immune to that thought. I also feel like that, even though I do take precautions. Like I would board up the Dirty Shame when a hurricane was coming close. Done it many times, and a lot of other businesses. I don't think they ever laughed at me for doing it, but you know they certainly didn't board up. All right, let's see if they'll let me in Palmetto Beach, because I know Palmetto Beach probably still got a lot of water on the ground. Definitely want to take that intersection a little more seriously. When it comes to treating a light out like a four-way stop, people do that with wide and varying degrees of severity. Damn old train track's arm is broken. Dang. Don't splash me. Don't you do it. Don't splash me. Cars better not. You better not. All right. Yeah, they gotta have something closed up there for all this traffic to be coming through like this. Holy crap, what the heck's going on up there? Well, they just straight up got that closed, baby. Let's see what's going on in the old neighborhood. A lot of water. That's nothing new for Palmetto Beach, though. I would not be surprised if Cockroach Bay down there, McKay Bay, I actually forget which one it is completely over the seawall still. No, not my shoes. I didn't wear my waterproof boots because I wasn't planning on going that ham, and now I'm paying the price. I'll probably have it closed down. No, hey, man. There was obviously water up to here because you can see all the debris on the ground, but it has receded. I thought maybe it'd still be over the seawall out here, but it is all back where it belongs. Okay, bubbling up out of the sewer right there. Once again, Palmetto Beach survives, dodges a bullet. This neighborhood's been here for damn close to 100 years. I don't think 100 years because that was when the last hurricane came through and that would have wiped it off the face of the earth. But it's been here since after that. So something like this right here, this would have been in the water. So that was like part of a dock out there, I would have to assume. Probably maybe part of this over here. The water was up high enough for all this kind of wood out here to float up onto the street. Yeah, there's all sorts of like pilings. Those are all from this thing over here. You used to be able to go in there. That used to be like a little bar. Oh, that street's still flooded. I think this might have been the little bar right here. Or no, this was somebody lived in this one. This was somebody's house. You see where the water is now, and I know you guys who've watched the channel before probably remember my other hurricane videos, but if you go back here, because obviously there's a indentation here, you can see really just like how far back the water actually got. So it was all the way back here because this seawater didn't quite make it back into the bay. I imagine last night this was all completely underwater. I have no reason to cover my bike in salt water right now. I've done that enough to the poor dirtster. Oh, dang. Tree down, dude. I guess I don't have to block this part off. Tree's doing a pretty good job of telling people they shouldn't be driving around over here. Yikes. Dude, I am loving these four-way stops, dude. You know what, man? Get rid of all the stoplights. This works out way better for me. I also feel like it should be the right of every red-blooded American to run at least 4 stoplights a day. Like, no more than that. But just like a get out of jail free card, run 4 stoplights a day, especially if they're long ones that are annoying and you look both ways and you're real careful about it. I feel like you should be able to do that. Or maybe not everybody should be able to do that, but I feel like I should be able to do that. I mean, I do. I'm just saying I feel like it should be legal. Whoa. Oh, my man frickin' flying through that water over there. Let's get away from the high-speed hydroplaning section over here, okay? I'm all down for a little tomfoolery, a little hooning, a little gooning, but when it comes to someone going 75 miles an hour through 2 foot of water, I'm gonna make sure me and my motorcycle have exited stage left. Go over here and check out the Williams boat ramp again, see what's going on, see if they're letting people in the water or not. I don't see why they wouldn't be. I can understand, like, as the hurricane's coming in, they're maybe like, nah, they're out here warning people. But the day after, I don't know. I see no reason why you couldn't take your boat in the water, or what reason they would have for even trying to stop somebody. Well, maybe you aren't using this boat ramp today, because somebody's sailboat is sailed right onto the shore. Oh, I guess the boat ramp's still open. You could still use it. Damn, dude. A lot of these boats got pushed around pretty bad last night. Like I said, these guys over here probably live on those boats. I'm not trying to be out here, like, documenting everybody's, like, worst day of their lives right now. So I'm going to jet, but I'm really feeling bad for these guys. Especially, God, that sailboat, dude. That fucking sucks. You know, you say what you want. You can say they're freaking freeloaders. You can say whatever about this, but at the end of the day, that's still their home. Just sitting next to your home when it's like that, I gotta imagine has got to be the worst feeling in the world. I really feel for those guys. And normally I would, like, you know, bust out the camera and film it, but, you know, it just, I don't know, it just doesn't sit right with me to go over there and, like, stick the camera in somebody's face when they're experiencing quite possibly the worst day of their life. That is awful. That sucks. See a lot of them out there. These are there's some of them were already sunk out there, but I think that one right there was not sunk. But with all this rain coming down, if your bilge pump isn't working properly, it really take on water and end up sinking your boat, man. Awful. I don't know how high the water ended up coming out here last night, but it looks like however high it did come out, it ain't here anymore. It wasn't even as bad as that last one. Like I said, that last one, this entire thing was underwater for a couple days. Like, you're coming back here with a dang jet ski. And that's not hyperbole. People were literally getting to their houses with jet skis. Let's go ahead and run by Forgotten Angels, too. I know they had some trees come down there. Lakes are pretty damn full, but that's not a bad thing because they didn't spill over the road, so we're doing okay there. They told me a tree went down in the back near the pub. The pub is no more. Damn, dude. That is brutal. Holy mackerel. Dude, the tree house and the pub. Damn. Oh, I'm sure this is not the only tree that fell on somebody's house here in Tampa. Well, the cat likes it. I just saw Mavericks in there freaking searching for rats or something. Well, the pub is no more. You might have gotten a rap star tattoo from Cassidy in here, or you might have had a beer with David, or many, many other things, but that one's not coming back, unfortunately. So keep an eye out on the Forgotten Angels Facebook page. I don't want to schedule right now because I don't know the date, but we're going to schedule a work day for anybody who wants to come out and trade some back-breaking labor for beer, pizza, and lots of goodwill. Which I'm sure they will. Our work days out here are always fun, and they're always a good time, and this is going to take a lot of work to clear out. But as we say, we're just thankful nobody was hurt. That's right. Yeah. And we're thankful that the hurricane didn't hit us that bad, because I'm sure, I haven't looked at the news yet, but I know up in the Panhandle has to be bad, dude. Yeah. So I'm gonna count us lucky, even with the destruction of the pub. I think that we all got pretty lucky. My heart goes out to everybody in the Panhandle who's having a much worse day than us. And maybe somebody else knows. I certainly don't know. This tree fell down. I mean, obviously there was a lot of wind, but this one fell down because it was rotten. And it's just wild that, you know, you sit, some of these oak trees are just like ticking time bombs, man. You go down here and it was still alive, you know, there's green leaves all grown out of it and it was still very much alive, but then you just come down here and the roots underneath it they're all rotten. It's almost like a freaking sponge down here. I don't know, can you test for that? Is there a way to tell when that's happening? It's rotten or not. I mean, this tree's got to weigh like 5 or 6 tons, you know, and any structure outside of a concrete block just doesn't stand a chance against that kind of weight coming down on it. Well, team, that's gonna about do it for this one. We got very, very lucky here. When I say we got lucky, I mean I personally got lucky, even though Tampa as a whole is still pretty lucky. I say not all of Tampa because now that I've gotten on social media, talked to some of my friends, I have some friends who lost everything. My friend Dirk, who's been on the channel a bunch, actually lives in Palmetto Beach, and he sent me some videos that I'm not going to share here because they're his own personal videos of his house being under literally 3 feet of water inside his house with like water splashing into the doorways and stuff like that. So there's a lot of people here in Tampa who lost everything. I myself was very fortunate. Out at the beach, of course, St. Pete Beach and Treasure Island, all that stuff, that's a lot of those places are a total loss. That's not saying anything about how bad it was in the Panhandle of Florida and what they call the Big Bend area. Those guys are going to take a generation to come back, years and years and years for the communities to come back from the devastation that this hurricane caused. You know, I'm lighthearted in my videos a lot. We have a good time. I know that people are curious. You want to see what's going on, and I think that you should be able to see what's going on both before and after. I don't take any pleasure or glee or ever want to be the kind of person who sticks a camera in somebody's face when they're having the worst day of their lives. So try to be respectful, try to do my thing, and just kind of give you guys a little bit of a view and perspective of what it's like here in Florida during a hurricane. And of course, after a hurricane. As far as doing my part, well, there's some personal friends that I'm helping today that I won't be filming, me helping them clean up because that's not why I'm doing it. But I will say I'm gonna do the same as we did the last time the hurricane hit here, and anything on the Brapstar store that is Florida related, all the Keep Florida Shady merch, both shirts, t-shirts, patches, anything that's Florida themed on the Brapstar.com website, on the Brapstar store, 100% of that will go to hurricane relief funds. I'll just go ahead and do that until all the stock I have now is gone. That's something that we always do anytime a hurricane hits. All of our Florida stuff all goes to that. So if you just want to donate directly to a charity, the charity I'll probably be donating to is Save the Children. It's the Children's Emergency Fund, and they kind of focus on getting kids what they need right away. Of course, I always donate to Bert's Salute to America Fund as well, because they donate to a lot of first responders who are out there helping in the areas that are affected the most. And of course, Forgotten Angels is going to need some help rebuilding over there as well. And again, they deal with homeless children, and a lot of stuff like this kind of strife out there, it pushes people over the edge, and people who are in bad situations, they go to situations that are so much worse. That's really just a trickle-down effect of anything that was going on in somebody's life, or anything that was bad just gets quadruple compounded on them. And anyway, it's more than just losing your property, it's everything that comes after it. And I don't want to end this on too somber of a note. We still have a lot of fun here on the channel, and I still plan on making a lot of fun videos, but this is my home, this is where I live, and I like to share with you guys what it's like, both the good stuff and the bad stuff. Till next time, y'all, keep it weird.
Crashing through the sky comes a fearful cry. Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. Armies of the night, evil taking flight. Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Panic spreading far and wide. Can the world oppose the deadliest of foes? Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. Who will risk it all to end the evil call of Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. They never give up They never say die, walking tall with banners high.
Shade Tree Army, a ruthless gang of scum, villains, freaks, and bikers determined to rule the world.